To Dr. Mensch, the radio show that takes a real, compassionate look at mental health from A to Z. Join child and adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Gil Lichtshine each week as we explore topics that matter: autism, ADHD, anxiety, depression, OCD, schizophrenia, behavioral challenges, neurodevelopmental disorders, and more. No stigma, no judgment. Just honest conversations, new therapies, breakthrough treatments, and real solutions for real people. Mental health is not a weakness. It's a treatable medical condition, and help is available. Join the conversation now by calling the studio at 888-994-4995, Studio A. This is Dr. Mensch, where hope and healing begin.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Gil Lichtshine, a.k.a. Dr. Mensch, here for another exciting episode of my show. I'm a board-certified child, adolescent, adult psychiatrist in Boca Raton. My office is located at 7100 West Camino Real, Suite 404 in Boca. My phone number is 561-300-4052. And today I have a return guest who I always love having, Freddy Santory. How are you?
Good, Doc. How you doing?
And today I'm doing well. Today we're going to talk a little bit about sports, a good little distraction from the crap, for lack of a better word, that's going on in our world today. We have a war in Iran. I mean, it's a good thing, but still, you know, sports is a nice distraction to get away from all the politics and all the nonsense going on in the world. And in the last, I would say in the last week and a half of sports, we've had the start of the baseball season.
Yes.
We've had Tiger Woods get busted again for DUI.
Well, he apparently was, he wasn't drinking, I don't think. I think he was taking meds.
Yeah, he was, I guess he was speeding and he clipped the car and flipped over and was found to be under the influence of prescription, my guess, probably opiates.
Yeah.
But, you know, kind of what I don't understand him is, I mean, Tiger Woods is a billionaire. He has the money, he can afford a driver. Like, dude, if you're under the influence of some, in this case, a prescription medication, why don't you
Get somebody to drive.
Yeah. I mean, and, I think he said something in what I read about, either the cost or privacy issues. I'm like, then have your driver, sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
But money, I can't imagine money would be an issue when the guy's worth over $1 billion.
I know.
But I don't understand a lot of these, I still remember, I'm going to say it's about 10 years ago, or maybe longer, Dante Stallworth, who then was a wide receiver. I don't know if he was with Steelers, the Patriots, or the Browns. He was in South Beach, kind of partying, and decided to get behind the wheel of a car and killed somebody in a MacArthur Causeway, and made me think, dude, you make $25 million a year.
Hire a driver.
You can't hire a driver or call an Uber. It's, if you're, if Tiger Woods is concerned about, I could be hiring a driver and bring back some, 5 ladies with me and having a little dalliance, then have the driver sign an NDA, and the driver can't say a word about what kind of mischief you're doing. But, I mean, you could have killed somebody. You could have killed yourself. I know his kids are, I think his son's 17 and his daughter, I think, is 19. So, but imagine if you had younger children, and if I was the ex-wife, or the mother, I'd be fighting, saying, hey, Tiger, I'm fighting you for custody because you have a drug problem.
Yeah, but something problem. It's not the first accident he's had,
this
right?
is it the third or fourth?
Yeah, something like that.
I think one that he had in L.A. almost killed him, and I mean, his foot, believe his leg could have been amputated if he wasn't extricated from his wreck. I mean, so it's pretty serious stuff. Even I believe he's dating President Trump's ex-daughter-in-law. I think President Trump has ordered the Secret Service to say that Tiger can't drive his I don't know how many kids, was it Vanessa Trump? I think it's Don Jr.'s ex. I think Kobe is the grand. I don't know if she has any other kids, but the president has apparently told the Secret Service that under no circumstances, is Tiger to drive his grandkids. I wouldn't. If I was out with Tiger, I'd be like, dude, I'm driving, or we're getting somebody. I wouldn't trust him behind the wheel of a car.
Absolutely. I heard President Trump called him too at the scene of the accident.
It's pretty sad. I mean,
it is one of the greatest ever in the history of the game. To go through that whole nonsense.
I mean, clearly is a flawed individual who has, before I think this first thing is when he was having like numerous affairs on the mother of his 2 kids, and then he's had all these health issues, which has likely resulted in becoming misusing prescription opiates and who knows what else. So, but and then at the same time we've had opening day of baseball.
Yes.
It's been about 10 days. We're about 10 days into the season. But to me, the one thing that kind of I don't understand is, this year was the earliest that Major League Baseball's ever opened. And I just don't understand why they're opening so early. I know it's a money thing. And that with the expanded amount, playoffs, that they got to open up early because otherwise the season will go into like middle of November. But, I mean, yeah, we live in South Florida, so going to see the Marlins in the end of March is not a big deal. But imagine if you're living in Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit, New York, Boston, Chicago. Like, Wrigley Field's a beautiful stadium, but I ain't going to a Cubs game March 25th in Chicago when it could be 30 degrees.
Yeah.
It's just not, baseball. You think of a summer game. Spring and summer. You don't think of snow and ice and freezing temperatures. That's football. I'd go to a football game in 30-degree weather because that's what football's associated with. So I don't understand. And the other thing, too, is, it leads to more injuries. Muscles don't work or function as efficiently in colder temperatures than in warmer temperatures. There's probably some associated with higher rates of injuries.
Agreed. I went to see a Met playoff game against the Dodgers, and it was 40 degrees, and I was sitting right underneath the flagpole, and it was howling wind. I was wrapped up in 15 layers of clothing, and there were people around me acting like there was no big deal.
I mean, tomorrow I think Kansas City is playing at Cleveland. And tomorrow on Tuesday, April 7th, I think they're expecting a high of Cleveland like 32 degrees.
That's crazy.
I mean, I think they're playing in the afternoon, so it's otherwise if they played at 7 p.m., it's probably in the 20s. I mean, but I don't even want to think if there's going to be any wind. It could be like feeling like low 20s. I'm not going to a baseball game, sitting there
Is
freezing.
there a rule, a freezing, if it's too cold, you can't play?
I don't know. I would hope so.
That's nuts.
I mean, it's not good for the players. Imagine if, let's say, your arms are stiff. You're a pitcher. It can lead to more pitching injuries. You're a player, and you have to warm up more. I mean, Juan Soto strained his calf the other day. He's now on a disabled list for like 2 weeks.
They're keeping him off the field.
Is it related to cold
Of course
temperatures?
Of course it is.
I mean, I wonder if there is some sort of like chart or statistics of comparing, injuries, baseball injuries, let's say in the month of March, April versus, let's say, June, July. I'm not talking about like, torn ACL, let's say, but in terms of like hamstring or calf strains or shoulder injuries due to colder weather.
Well, let's talk age. If you're under 30 and over 30, cold weather has an effect. Got to tell you, I played over 30 in cold weather in New York, and it hurt a lot. Under 30, you're young, you're vibrant, you're 23, 24, 25. Big difference. Big difference is all I'm saying. The Mets are giving away tickets tomorrow and Wednesday. Giving away free tickets.
Who wants to go to a game in the middle of the week in early April
at 4
when
o'clock.
It's 40, 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock. People are in school, people are at work, but if it's 40 degrees,
it's too cold.
I'm a diehard Mets fan, but if someone, if it's a 1:00 game on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and my buddy says, "Hey, I got tickets to go to see the Mets," I'd be like, "Yeah,
good luck with that.
I'm working." I mean, maybe the only way we'll go is like, okay, I'll throw in a $5,000, and I'll pay for all the food, and I'll pick you up. I'm like, okay, maybe, but I'm not gonna sit. Or if he says I'm gonna be in a box, enclosed box, like, okay, but otherwise we're like, yeah, we're sitting along the third base line. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna freeze my tuchus off for
it's too cold.
3 hours and 35, 40 degrees. Sorry, especially
it's too cold, no fun.
Yeah,
that's no fun.
Well, that's the other thing. It takes away the fun when you're just sit there and you're like shivering, and it's like, okay, how much longer do we have till this game's over?
Yeah.
Or I want to go. Right, you want to go to a game and enjoy it, enjoy the experience. So
remember back in the day when they used to play doubleheaders?
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up in the '70s. The season didn't start till like April 9th, April 10th. We'd had doubleheaders. I know they're not going to do that now anymore because of money. I know back in the '70s, we only had 2 divisions, so you had the league championships. I mean, you right away went to the league LCS and then the World Series. So the World Series was done by the middle of October at the latest. Sometimes even maybe October 10th, October 12th, because if the season ended like September 28th. 5-game series takes you even 7. Yeah, now you have the added wild card round, the league championship, league division series, league championship, and the World Series. I mean, basically the whole month of October is occupied by playoffs, and sometimes now the World Series is ending like November 2nd, November 3rd,
which is very cold also.
And so again, I'm thinking like Cleveland or Detroit or Minnesota. Like I wouldn't. I mean, I would love
Toronto.
to go to. Well, at least Toronto is an enclosed stadium,
is
Sky
it?
Dome or Rogers, or whatever it's called.
Okay,
but,
thank goodness.
But you're right. Imagine if Toronto had an open air stadium like last year. They were in the World Series. Imagine, I think game 7. Game 7 was in Toronto.
Yes.
Right. Imagine it's November. It was November 1st. I don't want to be in Toronto in November. I've been to Toronto in early October when temperatures have been in the 40s. So I can only imagine November 1st. If the Rogers Center was an open air stadium, like I would, as much as I would love to go to a World Series game, like I don't want to sit out in an open air stadium at 40-degree weather and freezing my butt off. Like, it won't be any fun.
No.
So baseball, I mean, I don't think baseball is going to decide, okay, we'll wait 2 weeks, we'll open up the season April 9th, April 10th, we'll throw in a couple double headers or 2-3 double headers a month, and this way the season will still end around September 28th, and then get your whole month of October for the playoffs. But the owners, they're looking at the money aspect. I don't think they're gonna go for it because they're gonna lose, revenue for. I mean,
a game. Yeah.
It's unless they'll consider it 2 separate games, and you have to have 2 separate tickets.
Well, the doubleheaders.
You could do a day-night doubleheader.
But the doubleheaders used to have a concert in between.
Right. So you can do a day-night doubleheader and have 2 separate games, and you still make the revenue, but now you're getting 2 games in one day, so you could. Or the other option, I think, is shorten the season, 154 games, which I know they'll never do.
But they're talking about that. They're talking about shortening the season to start later. But that defeats
the season. I mean,
but that defeats the purpose of starting earlier if you shorten the schedule.
I mean, I know there's talk in the NBA of shortening the season at 72 games. To me, go to 100. It used to be 154 games until 1962. So, I mean, for the first 60 years of baseball, it was 154 games.
But basketball is canning games. If your team is out of it, they're not even starting the starters.
Right.
And that's a shame because they want the lotto pick. Now, how do they do the lottos? Is it still with the ping pong balls, or is there a different way of doing it?
No, I think it's still with the ping pong balls, but they've changed like the odds so that it's not that if you're the worst team record-wise that you're guaranteed, or you still have the best odds of getting the number 1 pick, but the odds have narrowed so that other teams
Have a chance?
can have a chance.
I see.
And on that note, we will take a brief commercial break.
What happens when the mind of a healer crosses over into the darkness of the human soul? From authors David Icovetti, Dr. Gil Lichtshine, and Yolanda DeLuca comes a chilling psychological thriller, Dr. Mensch, A Prescription for Evil. This gripping novel follows a respected Boca Raton psychiatrist who secretly descends into madness, transforming into a modern-day king of the underworld. Inspired by true events and Dr. Gil's childhood connection to a mob family, this story blurs the line between sanity and evil, genius and destruction. Unforgettable, disturbing, impossible to put down. Get your copy today on Amazon.com. Dr. Mensch, A Prescription for Evil, a 2020 psychological crime thriller. You're listening to Dr. Mensch with child and adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Gil Lichtshine. For a copy of his powerful new book, Dr. Mensch's Prescription for Evil, visit Amazon.com. For more information or to schedule a consultation, contact Dr. Gil directly at 561-300-4052 or visit docgil.com. Now, let's get back to the show.
This is Dr. Gil Lichtshine, a.k.a. Dr. Mensch, back after a brief commercial break, talking with Freddy Santory about sports. We were talking about baseball. We kind of segued into basketball and the lottery and the losing and tanking.
Unfortunately.
I think that the tanking issue in basketball has become like a real subject where there have been other proposals brought to the commissioner about how to, kind of persuade teams not to tank, and so that teams that, let's say, go to the play-in tournament, that even those teams could actually, at least the ones that lose or don't advance from the play-in tournament to the playoffs, that they can also actually be involved in the lottery. Or so there's been some proposals because teams are making trades, kind of, that has tanking kind of on their mind.
Correct.
Making trades and making conditions on trades in terms of draft picks and if it's protected or unprotected based on, like, okay, what's the team's current stand or standings and their chances in getting a lottery pick, and if they fall within a certain, standings, they'll lose that pick. So it's gotten, at least especially in basketball, a little bit out of hand.
It has. And I heard that the commissioner says he's come up with some plan to slow it down. You can't stop it. There was a team that all starting 5 players of that team were all injured. All starting 5. I mean, come on. One of them had a toenail injury. The other one had a hangnail injury. And they didn't play. And they lost by 26 points. I mean, what are you going to do?
Basketball, I think, is the one sport where tanking is probably the most flagrant or obvious. I mean, I'm a diehard New York Jets fan, so I'm all for what's called, calling it the March for Arch. So for me, I want the Jets to tank so they can get the number 1 pick in 2027 and pick Arch Manning, the quarterback, from Texas, to be the Jets.
But what if there's another team that's worse, like the Raiders?
Well, I'm thinking now the Raiders, though, with Fernando Mendoza, they actually might be. They have a legitimate quarterback compared to the Jets, who have Geno Smith. But here's the thing: that the Jets always they kind of are self-destructive. They'll probably wind up winning games next year that they shouldn't, and wind up probably winning 4 or 5 games.
And that takes them out.
And they'll wind up with the 5th or 6th pick. They'll do something to kind of screw themselves over. They always do that.
They're not very good in the draft.
So to me, it's like tank, get the number 1 pick, and draft Arch Manning. But their schedule is, they have, I think, 5 games on their schedule that is kind of iffy, where if the Jets actually put some effort, they could win, but it's like 2 against the Dolphins. I think they're playing Tennessee, the Raiders, Cleveland, and Arizona. So they have Arizona, Cleveland, Tennessee, the Raiders, and the Dolphins twice. So those are 6 games that, I mean, if they win, they're 6-11. They're not getting the number 1 pick.
Well, the Dolphins they got rid of everybody. They're just looking to
the
lose.
Jets and the Dolphins are probably playing for the
quarterback.
seller in the AFC East next year.
For the quarterback.
Right. The Dolphins got Malik Willis, so at least they're a little bit more set than the Jets, who have Geno Smith, Tyrod Taylor, and what's the guy's name from Missouri? Brady Cook. I'm sorry. Well, the Dolphins have Malik Willis, and they have Quinn Ewers, who was the predecessor to Arch Manning in Texas.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
So, but Arch Manning, man, he's
the man.
He's the man. The March for Arch. I actually asked a patent lawyer, my attorney. I call up my attorney. He goes, I want a patent this called the March for Arch. And so he actually connected me with one of his colleagues who's a patent attorney. And so I called him, emailed him. He actually responded. He's like, I have a lot of connections with the NCAA. He's like, they will fight you tooth and nail. I'm like, what do you mean? March for Arch is like NIL. It's like, they won't let you. I'm like, damn, I thought I could patent a March for Arch and make some millions of dollars, maybe make some T-shirts, with the Jets logo, the March for Arch, but my hopes were
Now,
dashed.
Manny could have come out early if he wanted to.
I don't know if he could have come out this year.
It's a junior. He could have come out. I mean, it doesn't
He's
matter.
a red shirt. He's a red.
But he still could have come out as a red shirt.
Well, he's going to come out. I'm almost certain he's going to come out in
Next
2027. Yeah.
But if he had come out this year, and it would have been him and Mendoza,
Mendoza would have been number 1 for sure.
Still.
Arch started off slowly and got better as the year went on. I think now with a full year, because last year he was backing up Quinn Ewers. This year, with 1 full year under his helm, I think he's going to kick butt this year. And I actually today decided, like last minute, I'm going to the Gators Texas game in Austin. So I'm like,
to see him.
I'm like, I went last year to the game in Gainesville
with
Florida beat Texas. I'm like, I'm going to Austin to see Arch Manning. So I can't wait to go to Darrell Royal Stadium in Austin. It's going to be awesome.
Now, before we go, I got to ask you, your basketball madness, the 2 teams that are in there tonight, as of this taping right now, we don't know the winner yet, but those 2 teams that are in there tonight, did you have either one of those?
I had, in my pool, I had Michigan, UConn, Florida, and Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I had
doesn't
Florida,
surprise you.
and so I had Florida beating Illinois in the South Regional Finals, but Florida lost in the second round. So that's.
So these 2 teams were in your brackets. Wow.
I mean,
that's amazing.
Danny Hurley, Duke choked.
Duke
and
dropped
Duke
the ball.
choked this year. They choked last year. I mean, that.
And who do you have winning tonight?
Michigan.
Big?
Big.
I think Michigan wins big tonight also.
That's a well-oiled machine.
They seem to be one of the better scoring teams in the country.
They're a well-oiled machine, Michigan. They blew out a good Arizona team, blew them out. So that's a damn good team.
Now UConn has history on its side.
Right. This could be their 3rd national title in 4 years.
That's why they're saying this could be a tremendous game tonight.
mean,
it's going to be defense or it's going to be offense?
I think it'll be offense.
If it's offense, I think Michigan blows them away.
Yeah.
UConn shows up and they score. It could be whoever plays the better defense wins the game.
Yep.
Wow. That's going to be terrific. I love that. And then baseball, you have the Marlins in first place.
Yeah, but it's April 6th, so.
Yeah, but they're still playing very good ball.
I think they're a better team than people think, but.
They're pitching.
I mean, they have good pitching, but here's the problem. Okay, come trading deadline, So let's say Sandy Alcantara is having a kick-butt season.
You trade
The
him.
Marlins are going to trade him. I mean,
That's what
they have
kills
some
that
great
team.
young talent, but, what happens is in the end they trade them all. I mean,
Yep. They have to hold on to the talent.
Yuri Perez, Sandy Alcantara, Jacob Marcy. I mean, there's some good talent on that team, but they got to hold on to that. Otherwise, you'll have just 4,000 or 5,000 people, going to a game.
That's so sad.
Which is sad. I mean, because, you want to see like a young, exciting team. Marlins Stadium, it's Lone Depot Park. I still call it. It's a beautiful stadium. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful. I mean, inside, great views of the what do you call it? Skyline of Miami. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful stadium.
It's a nice place to go to spend a night.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, food in the stadium is good. I mean, I went
and very inexpensive.
I went last month to the World Baseball Classic, Israel against Venezuela. Just a great vibe. It's a great venue to see a game. Right, Marlins tickets are very inexpensive. But they should put a good product on the field and they'll attract more. So,
all right. Good stuff.
Yeah, agree.
Watch the basketball game right into next week and let us know if your team wins.
That's right. College basketball will be over. Football starts in about 5 months. College football the end of August. Pro football beginning of September. Will be here around the corner. And on that note, I want to appreciate Freddie for coming
Thank
again.
you, buddy.
Love having you.
Love being.
Dr. Gil Lichtstein, a.k.a. Dr. Mensch. Until next week, you all have a good rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Dr. Mensch with Dr. Gil Lichtstein, helping you navigate the world of mental health with clarity and care. If you or someone you love needs support, you're not alone. Treatment works and recovery is possible. To schedule a consultation or discuss non-medication therapies, personalized treatment plans, or psychiatric care, contact Dr. Gil directly at 561-300-4052 or visit docgill.com. You can catch us each week on South Florida Oldies Radio and streaming across all social platforms. Until next time.